Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Purse Cheese, a podcast where we talk about food, culture, feelings, history, taste buds, memories, and a whole lot more. That's Peggy Baldwin.
And that's Katie Thomas.
And we're happy to have you guys with us today. And we're really excited to be recording another episode of Purse Cheese.
All right, Katie, tell all of our new listeners why our podcast is called Purse Cheese.
Well, okay. If you want the long version, please go back and listen to our intro in our very first episode.
Yep.
But the short answer is I sometimes carry a block of cheese and a cheese knife in my purse because you never know when you might need some quick protein. I've never been like a power bar, granola bar person, so that's been my choice. Hard cheese is one of my favorite foods, and it works for me. So what do you eat when you are on the go and you need quick protein, Pegs?
Okay, so full disclosure, I'm working on getting more protein in, but I am a carb girl through and through. So I just feel like the thing that I love about your purse cheese, which it's a brilliant idea and it's so fun to see you pop it out at random times, is that you're prepared when the hunger hits. And so when you're not prepared, you're grabbing whatever's there, and that's typically not the healthiest choice. So I'm trying to curb the carbs and do more protein lately for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm with you on the carbs. If I could have a purse baguette, I would. But
okay, that would go
that would
right
be
up
too
my
big.
alley for sure.
Yeah,
and that'd be a really long name for a podcast. I feel like.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. But
yeah,
yeah,
roll quite off the tongue.
Yeah, it is for practicality and for my taste buds.
Yeah, for sure.
And in the healthy, it's healthier to eat a hunk of cheese than like, I don't know. Yeah, like you said, like I'm trying to think what I would grab.
And I would
Even
say
like,
that when you're grabbing the carbs, you just want more, and you're more satisfied.
Like chips, I guess. I'm thinking
protein.
of like they make those little things of those mini like Pringles at the co-op downtown, the natural Pringles. And I used to grab those, and they taste really good, but they don't do anything.
Right.
You know, it's not like I'm not still hungry.
Yeah.
And the salt just makes you want more anyway.
Okay, so you're starting to get me hungry.
Sorry.
So I do think I am excited to hear what your best bite of food was in the last week.
Oh yeah. So one of our previous episodes, I was talking about my husband going out of town and making my Thai feast with fish sauce.
Oh, you did it.
I did it. I sprayed fish. I figuratively like had fish sauce like everywhere. Like the next morning, I'm like, yep, my house smells like. I was so excited. It smelled
and your
like
cats
salty
were very happy.
Yeah. So I spent I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I spent like hours like making this really intricate Thai soup. And I think I used too much fish sauce, but because it was really salty.
Right.
But it's because I was so excited about the fish sauce. And anyway, but the soup was so good. It had I like the way I make it. You can actually chew and ingest the lemongrass stalks, but I don't. I spit them out after I chew on them. But the Thai restaurant I worked at in college, the Thai people would eat them. They would swallow and the lime leaves and all these hard, the galanga root, which is like ginger kind of. They would eat those.
How many ingredients is in your soup?
So many. I don't know, like tons. But those are like the kind of what you would consider not spices, but they're just the flavor. They're like big chunks. They're hard chunks of, like I said, a lemongrass stalk. It looks kind of like I don't know if you're familiar with those, but they look kind of like a long onion, but they're hard.
Oh.
But then they taste like lemony. I don't know where they even grow them. Probably Thailand, but we have them at the co-op and stuff. And
so it takes a long time because the flavors have to deepen.
I start by mincing.
Is deepen the word? I don't even know.
Yeah,
flavors.
Sure.
The flavor profile. I have watched some Top Chef in my life, so a lot of it. So
yeah, that's a perfectly good way to put it. Yes. But I start by mincing garlic, chopping onions, chopping ginger, like mincing them really tiny.
Right.
And then I heat coconut oil, mix those in, let them cook for I don't know, 5 minutes or something, depending on the temperature. Then I add a thing. I do it step by step. I add a big thing of red curry paste. I add the chopped up lime leaves, and I let the flavors meld for a while, and then I add the next thing, and then eventually I have to cook the chicken. So I cook the chicken, and I take that stuff out, cook the chicken, put all that stuff back, put a bunch of chopped up vegetables and coconut milk and fish sauce and a little bit of sweetener. And I think that might be it. But the vegetables, I usually have tons of vegetables and sometimes tofu.
Yeah.
See, look, I could talk about it forever. This is
I know.
probably not that fascinating.
Did you only eat it at one meal, or did you have it?
I ate it throughout the weekend, and I ate it for breakfast the next morning. because, like I said, I was alone, and I was just like, well, who
It's my
cares?
favorite. This is what I'm having. It's my
Yeah,
favorite.
yeah, it's just so delicious. But yeah, I made such a huge batch that I ate it throughout the weekend. So
Nice.
yeah, what about you? What was your favorite bite?
Okay, so my daughter Kat, who also is one of our sound engineers and is amazing and fabulous in her own right for sure, has been experimenting in the kitchen more and more and doing some meal prep and things like that. But I'm tied between two. So she made this smash burger and she was like, Mom, we're gonna do some smash burgers. And I was like, all right, I am in. And then she starts whipping up bread. And so she made homemade buns and the smash burger and whatever she put in there, the flavors were incredible. And so you just bit into it. And there wasn't a bad bite.
Mm.
You know, it was one of those. Sometimes I'm the kind of person that I save the best bite for last, which I feel like is never good because I will always eat that last bite. So it's one of those, even if I'm full, I should do the best bite first. But
Yeah.
I want to just like, oh, this is so good. This looks like it's going to be the best bite. And that entire hamburger was
Mm,
the best bite.
yummy.
And so I was excited about that. And then just earlier today for lunch, she made a bacon, avocado, tomato um, sandwich on a French bread.
Mm.
And then, I mean, it was just incredibly yummy. And the vegetables are fresh right now, and the bacon was cooked to perfection. And
Mm.
my mouth is watering as I go, but it was the consistency of the bread with everything that was in there, and the avocados were perfect. And she,
Oh, good.
of course, got an avocado and was like, okay, Mom, take a look at this avocado. Feel it. This is what it should feel like in the store.
Yeah.
So that was helpful for me. So it was a lesson and it was pure enjoyment.
Oh, lucky lady. I need to have a child so they can cook for me.
Well, it seems like you're doing pretty well on your own. And I am definitely doing pretty well in eating her cooking on my own. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, and you got all that stuff at Costco, all your like containers and your new pan
That's
and
right.
stuff.
So
Like,
now we have like the opportunity to store and eat
hmm
for breakfast if we wanted and
hmm
lunch the next day. So
That's so
it's
awesome.
been really fun. It's been really fun to have her experimenting in the kitchen and it makes me want to experiment in the kitchen. So
Yeah, I want you to.
I do. I'm almost there. I feel like I'm looking more at recipes
Yeah, good.
for sure.
Good.
It
I mean,
definitely
only
seems
if it
good.
brings you joy, but like
Right.
it always ends up bringing me joy. And it took me, like I've said before, like till I was an adult to enjoy cooking or to even think it was possible.
Yes.
I just thought because I didn't grow up with it. So not really. I think talked about that with my parents. Like they just weren't, they didn't come from cooking. So they didn't
Hmm.
really know much about it.
Yeah.
They didn't teach me to love it. They just were like, saltines and Liptons. Good luck. Like,
Which kind of is a great introduction, I think, to
mm,
today's episode. The reason is because we are going to really talk about you working as a food and a restaurant writer. I mean, this is a pretty cool thing for you to go from a family that probably didn't highlight food as much over the years, and then to transition to somebody who's writing for some of the bigger magazines in Bozeman and has done a lot of different articles. So this is going to
mm.
be very exciting for me. And I thought about what would be my first question. And my first question for you, Katie, is when did you know you wanted to write?
Thanks, Peggy, for being so enthusiastic about it.
I am
I'm so,
enthusiastic. I love that you had a dream and you did it.
mm.
And so I want to hear how it happened.
Well, I really appreciate that because I didn't think it was possible. And here I am. And I would say I knew I wanted to write as early as first grade um, when we had like essay assignments, and I would enjoy them, but I would also get good feedback from my teachers. I
Hmm.
remember even at that little age. And I remember second grade in particular, the principal coming in and making a point to congratulate me in front of the whole class, which was a big
Wow.
deal, a very
That's
big deal.
huge.
Yeah, Mr. Marr, shout out to him. I don't know if he's still with us, but he was my principal at Longfellow School.
And made an
And
impact.
yeah, it definitely like I especially with things at home not being stable, I needed all the positive reinforcement I could get, and so school was one place to get that.
Hmm.
And so yeah, and so just always kind of excelling in writing as a child but also enjoying it. Like I said, feeling like this is it's just coming right out of me. I I have a gift or a knack. I don't want to say a gift, but a lot of people can write,
Right.
but I think it is actually like a gift from the universe to be able to just let it
Absolutely.
out, and it always is therapeutic too in some way. Even if I'm writing about food, it ends
Well, and
up
that's what I was
being.
going to ask you is like, how do you feel when you're writing?
Mm,
Does it evoke a feeling when you're
yeah,
in the process or when you're done or right before?
yeah, all of it. Like I'm usually excited if I have an assignment or
Mm-hmm.
if I've given myself an assignment, which I have. Right now I'm writing on some fiction of my own that I'm excited about, and
Ooh, we'll have to talk about
but
that in a bit.
yeah, we can. But like when I have an assignment, even if it's not my idea, the topic,
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited beforehand. If I have a lot on my plate, I can be stressed, but I always come. I've learned over the years to kind of put things in perspective and be like, hey, with all my jobs, I've got a bunch of jobs, and
Yep.
so I have to remind myself
You're
sometimes, like this is
diversified.
yes, like, and you say this to me sometimes. Remember, it's for fun. This is not supposed to be stressful,
Yeah.
and so I give myself that talk, and it usually works. And then when I'm actually writing, I would say I feel joy, I feel release,
Mm-hmm.
I feel satisfaction because it feels really good to. I feel creative. I've never
Yeah.
thought of myself as a creative person, and I've always grew up thinking that you had to be like a visual artist or
Right.
something, or yeah, I don't
Which
know.
is so not true.
I
There's
know
so
now. I know
much
that's
creativity in so many different things.
yeah. I know that's true today, but for all my years growing up, I just thought I'm not creative. I am this way because
Yeah.
I'm good at other things, like, but not anything artsy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to feel creative and like I'm producing something out of thin air. It's a great feeling to, even if it is an article on a restaurant, like that's a big deal to me because I also have always enjoyed reading that stuff. So to
Yeah.
write it is fun.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
helps people, which
I
is
hope so.
also a good
Yeah.
thing.
Or entertains them. Some people have told me it's just entertaining, and that's great, you
I
know.
also have to say that you're very creative in how you put
Mm.
colors together and wear them.
Oh,
I'm just
thanks.
like, I'm grays and blacks and neutrals and a pop of something here and there, maybe. And you come and I'm just like, wow, you look amazing.
Thank you. Except for
So,
today, I got your color on.
oh, you do have the gray, but the earrings, it's all
Yeah.
the earrings. So you
Thanks.
know exactly how to add that. And that's
Well,
a pretty cool
thank
thing.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
So, is there like, do you have a rhythm in your writing? Is there a place that you like to go to write or?
Yeah. I would say, I mean, I can write anywhere if I have to, but I definitely feel like the flow in my own little home office the most. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I have it set up. It again over the years. It's been doing this for I think about 14 years. 2011, I think, was when I started. Like by which I mean getting like hired,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to just writing my own stuff at home and then never showing anybody or doing anything.
Right.
So anyway, yes, over the years I've developed like my own little. It's kind of like a little nook. It's like my little. I've got my own room that's an office and a closet, but where all my colorful clothes are. But yeah, I have a lot of like visual things, and I'm to the point where I have like a special pen because I do write. I do write by hand some things. It's
Yeah.
not like I write my drafts that way, but I'll take notes or I
Are you a
just
gel pen person or do you have a fancy
no, I
pen?
have a fancy pen that
Ooh.
someone gave me that I have since replaced. It's at Paper and Grace. It's just I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
you would call it, but it has the cartridges and a really fine point.
That's our
And
stationery store, which is
yeah, it's
so
a great
pretty to go
store. It's
into.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It
It's
is
like a
beautiful.
stationary person's and writer's like dream.
Yeah. My
It's
youngest loves to go in there and also my husband who
oh
loves to
really?
write.
Yeah.
And both of them love to look at the pens and the
Yeah.
stationery and then they have so many other things like little tools that you would never think of,
I
but
know
they're
it.
super cute.
I have this amazing like glass like hourglass that
Mm-hmm.
looks super old school on my desk. That's just one of my things that I don't really use it, but sometimes I just turn it just for fun, but it's beautiful and it's from there and yeah, it's important to me to have little visual things around like that. And I
Yeah.
have like a tiny like well, this big like a little globe of the world and
It sets a stage.
yeah, it gets my mind in the space
Right.
for whatever that space is. I couldn't exactly define, but just my little writing zone. That's how I think of it. Is I'm in the zone, and once I'm in there, it's just my happy. It feels really good. I'm really happy, and I'm really um yeah. It's so satisfying to be there and to have a um I don't know to be making something
Yeah.
and to share it with others.
Which I'm so
Mm,
glad that you are. So
mm,
that's the next question I have is from first grade
mm.
to now, like at what
Mhm.
point did like how did you start making money? at doing something you love?
It was gradual. I did the same thing in college that I did in all through school, which is to say, like, I kept enjoying writing. That was what I would do well in school with, and I've journaled since I was 8, so I've
Hmm.
always had journals. I have 8. You should see my enormous box of journals,
That's
and
something
it's
that you
huge.
have in common with my husband, who
Oh,
Austin is like a huge journaler
is
and
he?
always wants to have. Actually, I think all of my kids, maybe all of the girls, definitely,
Mm.
um, love to journal or do something like that. And so,
Yeah, it's. I mean, I should have said really. I mean, it's around the same time, I guess. 8 years old, my first journal, first grade. I guess that's a little after first grade, but that's when I started really writing, was journaling more than
hmm
like I feel like getting in touch with that. But anyways, so yeah, I was journaling my whole life, and then I was writing for school, but
hmm
I just didn't think, I didn't have any confidence. I didn't think about like, hey, I should submit something to even like my college newspaper or something. Like that's what a lot of writers do
yeah.
when they're young, but it did not even cross my mind. I was just like, I couldn't possibly, I
Did you
had
ever go back and read them on occasion?
the
Your journal?
oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And sometimes that's pretty painful.
Hmm.
Like or I'm just like, cringe. Like what was I talking about? Because I my journals are like for me to just be like that and like
Right.
let it all hang out. And a lot of times it's really emotional and a lot of times it was just sounds crazy to me now. So
But I feel like if a writer has to write, I mean,
yeah, I
it doesn't
do. I
matter what
have
it
to
is about, or if you're not writing at
yeah.
least you're honing your craft, but you're also being able to express yourself in the way that works best for you.
Yeah, well, and I should say it was really an outlet for me as a young person, like
Hmm.
pre-internet, pre lots of things, and like there were times in my life when I felt really trapped, and I kind of was geographically, like when we moved to France, for example, and
Yeah.
I was stuck without anyone to talk to really because I didn't speak French when we moved there. I
Yeah.
knew a little bit, but it's not the same. I didn't have any friends. Um, I was not getting along with my mom. I was really angry with her for taking us there at the time,
Hmm.
and I was 14 years old. So all those things together, I had a lot of emotion. I had a lot of rage, I thought, at my mom. Now I know it wasn't really at her, but and by the way, for the record, I love my mom. She's awesome. She needs to be a guest on this show.
That would be,
And
and she is quite the entertainer.
yeah,
Like
and she's a
she can
foodie.
put together a party and
Yeah.
a charcuterie board
Yes,
like
she
no
can.
one's business.
Yes, she is where I get all my hospitality skills. So, but anyway, I blamed her at that time,
Yeah.
and so I had all this emotion. I had nowhere to put it. And so that's where I just poured it into my journals. And same
Hmm.
with when my parents got divorced, and I was 9, and I was powerless to actually go somewhere. Like if they're fighting, or I'm in my house with my dad and his new wife, I can't go anywhere. I am stuck.
Yeah.
And I might have some feelings and some thoughts, right? And I might not have a safe person to talk to about them. So journals have always been that for me too. Like just I got to get this out. I got to get
Yeah.
it out of my head and onto something else, and then I feel like it's not weighing me down so much.
Hmm.
So anyway, that's a little side note on my journaling life, but yeah, so after college, again, not thinking I could use my skills, and I tried to use my degree, which was in linguistics, but that is unusable in Montana, or at least it was then.
Right.
And that's a job for like a city, really, if you really want to actually have a career. Um,
Or college, maybe teaching, would you
yeah, but we
say?
don't have
Or
a department for that at
right.
MSU. We do at U of M in
Okay.
Missoula, but yeah, there's no linguistics in Bozeman. And so anyway, I tried. I like explored speech therapy avenues and other things that are kind of related.
Yeah.
Gave up, got restaurant and office jobs just because I was young, and then many jobs later, when I was in 2011, however old I was then, I was reading a now extinct online newspaper slash magazine local called the Bozeman Magpie,
Hmm.
which is
Great name.
yeah, it was a great little publication, and I was reading it at one of my desk jobs, and I was super bored at this job. I had nothing to do, and it was just me and the owner, this guy who was like down the hall. So I was sitting there by myself. I was super bored, and reading this because it was fairly new, and I was found myself editing it, and I was like,
Hmm.
um, I wonder if this guy would consider paying me to edit. I don't know anything about the guy, but long story short, I reached out to him and I was like, "Hey, do you by any chance need an editor for your awesome publication?" And he was like, "I'm the editor." and the owner,
Whoops.
and I was like, well, I found some errors, just letting you know. And he's like, oh, well, that's never happens, but thank you. But then he was like, but by the way, I need some writers. Would you be interested in writing for me? And I was like, oh, I guess, yeah. I mean, but I was like really surprised. I didn't know what he expected, but that guy gave me my first gave me my first shot at
Wow.
writing. But and so I
I'm
was
so
with
glad you
him.
reached out.
Yeah, so I was with him for a few years, and then
Yeah.
it closed. The magazine closed or whatever. He closed it down, but it gave me the confidence I needed to reach out to other publications. So
Hmm.
that's what I did. I hustled. I went to other places and
Marketed yourself.
marketed myself and just said, "Hey, don't you need a writer? You
Was it
probably
always
do."
about food or was it about?
No, so for the Magpie, it was not all about food. It was about a bunch of different things, like just random Bozeman topics, like local topics. But he had this guy. His name was Blake, the guy that ran the Magpie. He had a restaurant column, but he was the writer. He
Hmm.
had a fake name, and it was a woman. It was like Beverly something, I think, and a fake picture of a woman. And he would do restaurant reviews, and I was like, I want that job. And at the time, I didn't really think hard about it. I just was like, that sounds fun. That
Yeah.
should be me. And I asked him, and he let me do one restaurant, I think, as Beverly, because I bugged him and I bugged him. I was like, let me do one. And
And so
finally, he
you
let me
did
do
it
one.
under that name?
Yeah, I had to do it under that name. And so, but I still have it. And it was Pizza Campagna, if anyone knows that lovely restaurant. And
How long ago was that?
that was probably 2012 or 13 because I was with
Okay.
him for a couple, 2, 3 years before.
Yeah.
And it was towards the end, I think, that he let me finally do it. So yeah, it was a long time ago. But yeah. And so that definitely gave me like a taste of it. And I was like, oh, I love this. Like
Hmm.
this is my thing, is writing about a restaurant and food. And so when I went to my next opportunity was for Explore Big Sky, which Big Sky, Montana has its own, it's an unincorporated town, but it has its
Yes.
own newspaper, of course, and everything else basically that a little town would have. And so I
It's one of my
actually,
favorite out of town places to go. Like when I
yeah,
want to get away from home, but it feels like a vacation, I love just walking around in Big Sky.
and they've got some good food now. We got to talk about that at some point.
They
They
do.
have some really good restaurants, but anyway, they have a newspaper, and a friend of my husband's was friends with that newspaper editor and said, "Hey, she's quitting. Are you interested in that job?" I met with her. She said, "I don't think." She said, "If you're going to take this job, you have to reside in Big Sky," which I wasn't going to do.
Mm.
So I'm like, "Well, that's not going to work out." But again, she was like, "But would you like to write for us?" And I said, "Yes." And she gave me um, some food assignments, and then I started from there. So she did quit, and they got a new editor who ended up just letting me choose everything that I after like the first 4 articles, I think. Um, I just started suggesting, "Hey, can I write about this restaurant,
Hmm.
that restaurant?" And they would always just be like, "Sure." They didn't seem to really care. They were just like, "Uh-huh, whatever." And
Were they all paid
they
or
were not well, but they were paid.
right?
And so that was empowering because the Magpie was not paid.
Hmm.
That was just for free and for fun. And it was fun. But
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't even think again, I had no confidence, so I was like, "Uh-huh, I'll just do this for free." And but those guys paid
Just let me
me.
write.
Yeah, and they paid for my meals.
Yeah.
And actually I want to back up a bit and say I think my third assignment for Explore Big Sky was, do you guys know who Kat Cora is? Isn't she the top chef? I should know who she is.
Wait, she
Um
has been on
yeah, she's a
one
celebrity
of those
chef.
shows. Yes.
And so she came to Big Sky and I got to cover that event and then
How
interview
cool is
her.
that?
And I didn't know who she was at the time because I've never been a food, like unlike you, I've never watched
Yeah, I
like
watch it
food
all.
competition shows.
I
I
love
sort of
watching food
try to,
competitions.
yeah, I try to now, but I just don't watch a lot of stuff. Um so I didn't know who she was, but I know now. And I was like, "Oh my gosh." It was really exciting. And but they gave me that assignment. I didn't ask for that. They were
Hmm.
just like, "How about this?" And then the other one they gave me about food was La Chatelaine, the chocolate shop
Oh
we have
yeah,
in town.
good
And
chocolate.
such good chocolate.
Such good
Not
chocolate.
cheap, but delicious and made from scratch. So
But I feel like even one piece of that is so
it's
satisfying.
amazing. It's
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's
I don't have to keep going back for more, even one piece.
yeah, and those folks are from France. They're
Hmm.
French and they know what they're doing. So it's delicious. But those two assignments were given to me and I got rolling and I was like, I gotta, this is my thing.
Yeah.
And I just got really really excited about it. And they let me go for, I think I wrote for them for 6 years off and on, not monthly or anything, but like a few times a year I would do a restaurant review or
Right.
like a farmer's market review, or a local farm. So
So what is your process if you're going into a restaurant? Like here
Mm.
you have an assignment, it's a new restaurant in town or one that's established or something like that. What are the things you're looking for, thinking of, ordering? I want to know.
Gosh, everything. I go in there if it's a restaurant I've never been to before. I really have my eyes open. A lot of times it's a restaurant I have been to before, but I still try to keep an open mind. But I have an idea, you know. But
Hmm.
with a lot of, I can think of a ton of new restaurants that I've done this for where I don't know really what's coming at me. So I'm just like I'm judging everything really like in
Do
my
they know
head.
you're coming?
Sometimes,
Okay.
sometimes it just depends on the magazine and the relationship that either I or the magazine might have with the owner or the manager or something.
Hmm.
Um, but but yeah, I from the second that I walk in the door, I'm taking in everything, every little thing, the atmosphere, the way that one of the
Yeah.
top things I am paying attention to is how I'm greeted, if I'm greeted,
So you're
who
looking
are the
hospitality too.
oh yeah, oh yeah, because to me that's a really important part of eating out,
Yeah.
and you know, like it's a whole package. And I worked in a restaurant all through college called Busara, a Thai restaurant, and they had high standards, and I was that's how I was trained was with these high standards in just about every way. Like you
Hmm.
just they were very professional, and that's hard to find in my opinion, especially in this day and age. So I don't necessarily expect that, but when I do, when there's high prices though, and so anyway, I noticed that. I noticed the prices. I noticed the menu selection. I noticed the
And you read through all of it?
oh yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I read everything, even like the entire like wine list, and sometimes that is long. But
Yeah.
like I want to educate myself about what kind of place is this? You know, what are they selling? What is their vibe? And what and who are their customers? Who's coming here regularly? Who likes this? Who doesn't like it? Um, just everything like the what kind of art do they have on the walls, and how many steps of hospitality are there? Is there a hostess and a busboy and a server and an owner that then comes over and is like, how's everything?
Right.
Or because these are all usually like independent restaurants. We're not talking about like a chain usually, although
Yeah.
once in a while I'll do a chain, but it's usually like a local one. But they're usually independent, and half of them aren't here anymore. Half of them didn't make it, um, through COVID or just through our weird economy. And it's a rough business. It's hard to own a restaurant. It's a difficult industry.
Hmm.
So anyway, so I understand that, but I'm taking all that in, and of course, not even to mention the food. You know, like I'm ordering as much as I can and as much of a variety as I can.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, if they know what I'm doing, they'll bring me free stuff to try, which is amazing. And
That is exciting
it's
to
fun.
even do they ever bring off menu things or do
Yes,
they?
that just happened to me. Well, it was after the fact. I went to Shan, the Thai Chinese restaurant that's
Hmm.
newer.
I have
Um,
not been there
it's
yet.
so good. I love it so much, and I love Jarrett, the owner. Um, it's one of my favorite restaurants in Bozeman, and I've written about him twice, his restaurant twice. But after the fact, I was eating there a couple weekends ago, and
Hmm.
he knows me, and when he saw me, he brought out a little bit later this thing that was not on the menu. It was some yummy eggplant thing in this amazing sauce. I don't know. He said it didn't have a name, so I can't even tell you what it was, but it was
That's
delicious.
exciting.
It was so good.
Trying something that somebody or maybe it's
So good.
going to go on their
Yeah,
menu
I
and they're
told him
just
it
playing with
should.
it.
Yeah, my girlfriend and I were like, you should put that on your menu. I don't care what you call it, but it's so good. So I'm curious if you did, but it's delicious. And but yeah, so stuff like that happens to me sometimes, which is really lovely. I get lots of coupons.
Which is
I
also
have
very lovely.
yeah, in fact, remind me to give you some. I have a lot right now. When
Oh,
I leave
okay.
here, like I need to give you some because I'm never going to use them
That's
all.
the perk of being friends with you.
Well, sometimes, but most of the time it's a really good relationship that I try to always stay in touch with the people too,
Yeah.
the owners. But like I said, half of them close down and leave town, and that's a bummer. But
What would you say one of the lifespans? And we live in an
mm,
interesting place because we do live in an area that a lot of people visit.
mm-hmm,
So the opportunity to have
mm-hmm.
mid-range, high-end food is something that could survive. Um,
You really have to know what you're doing. I mean, you have to pick
yeah.
a good spot. I hate seeing these places open in these locations where I'm like, this person obviously didn't do any research. They don't know where they are.
Mm,
Like they're not going to make it. I'm trying to think of a good example. Um, well, here's the opposite of that Mediterranean place called Spitz up on East Main.
mm-hmm.
That thing is packed. I pass it every day because of where I live. And when they first opened, I was like, good luck, you know, because it's
Right.
dead up there. But they're starting to it's starting to get less dead, but that place is killing it apparently. And
Have you been there?
no, I haven't had a chance, but it's on my list.
Yes.
It's like, I've got a long list, but anyway, there's a lot of places that stick themselves in a bad location, and then they wonder why, or they just um or they are really overpriced. They don't understand their clientele. They don't understand that you might have this fancy, expensive, for Montana, exotic thing on your menu. You've got to also have like a burger for the
Yeah.
people that are dragged here that only eat meat and potatoes. You got to have some kind of option that they can handle, if you're going to also be expensive. You just have to have all the right mixture of factors if you're going to make it in a town like this, where you have to pay a lot to live here. You have to pay a lot to buy groceries and buy supplies for your restaurant, you
Yeah.
know?
And going out to eat anymore isn't inexpensive. So when somebody chooses a restaurant, they're investing
Yeah,
a
that's
little
exactly
bit
right.
of their hard-earned money and
Yeah, and you were asking, like, I think what's a typical longevity? I mean, I don't really know, but I can tell you that um, it's a small percentage of the restaurants I've written about that have been here for 20 years or more.
hmm.
That's rare. Like the Cat Eye,
Yeah.
my
I was
one of
going
my
to say the
favorites.
cat eye
One of my very favorites, and
that you also worked for.
that's where I used to work.
Yes.
And they've been here. I don't know how many.
Great breakfast. And the biscuits are amazing.
Everything is amazing.
Just my carbs.
Everything.
They
Yeah, no
always
kidding.
come
That
back.
is not the place to go if you're not going to eat carbs, because I mean, you can avoid it. They have a lot of eggs and stuff and
Yes.
salads, but their carbs are so good, and they're like made from scratch and all that. But that place has been there, I don't know how many years, but well over 20. They're one of the oldest restaurants in Bozeman that's
Mhm.
still standing. And I keep a list on my computer at home of all the restaurants that have gone out of business, and it's long. It's really, and I mean, that's from like the time it's my list from like when can remember. Like one of the oldest restaurants um on there is Wong's, a Chinese American restaurant that I remember going to when I was like 5.
Mhm.
And what's there now is Backcountry Burger. And so anyway, like that's how old my list is really, really long.
And you've been here for how long?
My whole life except for my year
Yeah.
in France and college.
And we've
So-
been here since 2015. And I've seen a lot of places
Oh,
come
yeah.
and go even in
yeah.
that time. And
Totally.
so it's interesting to know what the special sauce is.
Yeah, I think it's really like the perfect cocktail of factors have to fall in place for you, and you have to have money. You have to afford it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's most of them don't make it, or they change hands, or they change completely like what they are, like who they're
Kind of overhaul
serving,
the menu.
Yeah. I see a lot of like restaurant groups coming in, so not just a person, but like the people that own like Revelry and Dave's Sushi and what's the other one? Jam, I think.
Right.
Can't remember their name now, but that's a restaurant group, and they have all three, and there's a lot of that in town now, which didn't used to be the case, and that's fine, But I think that gives them a lot more stability. Those restaurants I just named are all not going anywhere, I don't think, anytime soon. We hope.
Yes. Well, Reverie has one of my favorite bites of food in town.
Oh,
So
what's that?
they have just a phenomenal grilled cheese that's also like a caprese grilled cheese with a balsamic reduction. It's just
Delicious.
and whatever bread they do it on is just perfectly grilled. It's so good. It's so good, and it's funny. I was there with a friend of mine and we both got it. And it seems like every person I meet, we always just order that. So I haven't been there to see a whole lot of their other things, because if I'm
Okay.
going, that's what
That's
I'm
what
going
you're
to
getting.
have.
Yeah.
But it's, pick it up and she's eating it very daintily and I'm just like a mess. It's like running down but it doesn't matter. I'm using up multiple napkins because the goodness just oozes from it. It oozes.
Well, a good grilled cheese is hard to beat.
I know. And I love a good grilled cheese.
Oh my
for
gosh.
sure.
How come we've never done that? We need to go do that.
We definitely do.
But it's hard for me though, because whenever I go to Revelry, I'm like, the Cat Eye is right across the
Oh,
street.
right.
And that's
You're
my
like,
favorite.
let's go over there.
And they don't have a grilled cheese though, but it's my favorite. Well, they have a tuna melt, but anyway, that is always my favorite. I'm always like, the Cat Eye. But I've been
Good
to
memories
Revelry a
there.
bunch. Yeah. And I go there all the time. I'm a very good customer.
So you've been to a lot of the restaurants in town, and probably, if
Hopefully
not almost all of them.
Yeah, I have a list of the ones I haven't been to as well.
Yes.
And that's a
Have
short
you been
list.
to Heist?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A bunch. And
Heist is one of our new steakhouses.
Mm-hmm.
Would you call it a steakhouse? It's
Yeah,
kind of very
I would.
very
It's
fancy and
very
posh.
fancy, not cheap. My policy is to not really go there for dinner unless someone else is paying because it's so expensive.
I like that
And
philosophy.
the first time I went there was to write about it. It was
Yeah.
for a story. And then I've been able to go because my husband's employer is one of the partners. He's one of the owners of. I mean, he doesn't do anything, but he whatever. He's just so he's had some events there, so I've
Hmm.
gotten to go there for that. And I think I've been in there once just to go to the bar, like
It
because I'm
is.
like,
It looks so fancy. I've
it's a
never been
cute little
inside,
beautiful bar. Yeah,
but
we could also do that. We could also just
oh,
go and have a cocktail
and then
at
we'll
the
go to the
bar.
cat eye. No,
And then yeah,
no, I don't think they're open at the same time. It's
yeah,
definitely a.
revelry is
Oh,
that might
that's
be the key.
true.
That's how you keep me out of the cat eye
There
is
you
go
go.
at night. They cat eye used to do like pop up dinners, by the way, and if they start that again, we're going.
Okay,
But
that sounds good.
they stopped during COVID, so I'm hoping they'll start again. But anyways, Heist, yes, that place will make it because this town can support that now, those
Hmm.
prices, and it's next door to Plonk, which is the same owners. Plonk is a wine bar with really good. I really like Plonk's food.
Hmm. Okay, so let me ask you this: best bite of food.
In
Where?
Bozeman,
Yeah.
well, for breakfast, the Cat Eye,
Okay.
and that's in Bozeman. There's a rivaling place in Livingston over the hill, which is called Pinky's. But for
Okay.
Bozeman, the Cat Eye, absolutely, for me. I would think, I think a lot of people would say the Western, which is our
Hmm.
oldest cafe still standing, I think.
I've been there.
Yeah, I love it. It's maybe my second choice. Um, but yes, for breakfast, the Cat Eye. For lunch, if you let me choose, I'm also going to choose the Cat Eye because they have my favorite salad, which is called the Bird Catcher, and it's a complicated. It's got a lot of ingredients. It's a chicken salad with pesto and
Hmm.
all kinds of beautiful. It's just a really great combination. It perfectly satisfies me. It comes with two little sourdough slices grilled. It's just perfect for me. I love it. Um, and for dinner, my first choice, it's kind of a tie between Shan that we were talking about and Cafe Fresco, which is Italian. And
I've been there once.
it's hard for me to
And
choose. It depends who I'm with. If I'm with my husband, we're going to Fresco.
okay,
And if I'm with a girlfriend, we're going to
I
Shan.
need to try it again. I feel like I need to try it again because
Yeah.
it's hard. I think sometimes you hit them in a good, or you might order something that maybe a little bit not exactly your style, and
Yeah. Yeah. And
then you think, oh, this
everybody,
isn't my jam. So
yeah.
maybe I need to give it another go.
Again, we could go together. It would be
That's
lovely.
true. We should just
We should just
eat there and
probably
do podcast from there. That would be great.
it's a little loud in there. It's a
That's true.
it's a smaller space, but yeah, every restaurant can have an off night, but
Mhm.
I mean, I almost every time I eat there, it's flawless.
Oh, good.
So
Okay. Well, then it's definitely coming back on my list.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. So you are are you doing any writing right now?
yes.
Okay.
So now I write a monthly column for Bozeman magazine, and it's a monthly Q&A with a local restaurant.
Mhm.
And so right now I'm writing actually about Mackenzie River Pizza Company,
Oh,
which is one of the older
one of our
restaurants in
favorites.
Bozeman. And yeah, it's a Bozeman staple, and it's that's also kind of grown over the years. They started out just having like pizzas and salads and maybe a couple sandwiches, maybe a little pasta, but now
Mhm.
their menu is much expanded. They have wraps, they have rice bowls, they have a lot more sandwiches, a lot more
Yes.
pizzas,
Their pizzas are
an
so
amazing
good.
dessert menu, like 16 beers on tap, big wine list. It's very family friendly.
Mhm.
I love it. It's one of those places that I have like lots of memories. They opened in 1993, so I was a junior in high school, I think. And it's always been like a very like much go to. They used to have delivery, like they hired their own personal like delivery guy, at one point was my neighbor Philip, who would come over in his red like little weird beater car and drop off
Here's
our
your pizza.
pizzas. And they do DoorDash, but so yes. Anyway, I'm writing about them right now,
And they've redone their downtown. And
yes,
I
they
I just
remodeled.
love the ability to that restaurants are doing and opening garage doors and having the
Yeah,
outside inside, especially when we have good weather. Because when our weather
yeah,
is good, it is fantastic.
yeah, and it's pretty short lived
Yes, and
to be
so
able to
I
do
we just
that.
want to embrace it. If I'm an outdoor eating area, if there's a
So
pretty
fun.
outdoor eating area, that's where we just love going.
Yeah, totally. It's and right now there's construction on the building next to them, and they
Hmm.
said that a lot of people can't tell if they're open, so they're trying to get the word out that they're opening their garage door. They're saying, "Yes, we're open. We have a new summer menu, so come on in here." So everyone listening, if you are around, go to Mackenzie River. It is a local chain. It's expanded outside of Montana now,
Mhm.
but this one I'm talking about is the original, the very first one. And now they're all over the state, and there's a few like in random states, I think because of the ownership, like there's some in Ohio and there's a couple in Vegas apparently.
Yeah.
So anyway, but
Bringing the taste of Montana
yeah, yeah,
and great pizza.
yeah.
They have
So
other good things too, but I am a fan of their pizza.
I love all their food. It's so good. When I interviewed the gal, the regional manager, who was awesome, she was like, do you want to take some food home? And I said, please don't let me. I'll take your whole kitchen home. I love the whole menu. So she gave me a bunch of coupons, and you're gonna get some.
Woohoo!
But
Date night for yeah, I'm ready.
yeah, and or like family night, whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's like they have such a great selection. But anyway, that's what I'm writing about food right now. I'm writing some other things that are not food related. I'm trying to think. I keep a list. There's always like if I ever have a pause, if I have time, I just push my idea on a local publication until someone says yes, we'll publish your story. So and then when they say yes, then I can go and interview whoever. But
Do you ever get writer's block?
rarely. I would say I do, but it's pretty seldom because
Mhm.
because of the way my life is, and maybe because of the way my brain works. I don't know. Like I'm super like compartmentalized, and because I have a day job, I teach at the gym.
Mhm.
I write for various publications. Like I wake up in the morning with like categories of time. This
We
is
are
what's
both
going to
very
this.
diversified in our time. It's so
Yeah,
interesting. I'm so glad we were able to make time and
I'm
space
so
for
proud of
this.
us. I know
We're doing so
it's
good. We've been talking
impressive.
about this for how many years? And
I know. Well, thanks to you. Thanks to your encouragement.
well,
So,
I will say it again. I think that I love being your friend, and it's
mm.
so neat to be friends with somebody that's so incredibly talented
Oh
in
my
so
gosh.
many different ways. So
Thanks.
you're
Thanks.
pretty amazing.
So are you.
Which we can't stop this particular podcast until we talk about the book that you've written
Oh,
a portion of, and it's coming out on the shelves, which is really exciting. And it doesn't have anything to do with food, or
it doesn't have anything to do
nope.
with food. I mean, I'm sure I mentioned it in my story, but but no, it's a collection of murder mysteries set in Yellowstone National Park, which is, hour and a half drive from where
Hmm.
we are. And so that, yes, I just published my first fiction. That's my first fiction. And the book is called Deadly Yellowstone. And
It has a
it's,
great like bear on the
yeah,
front cover that just draws your eye in. And I'm so excited to read. I have not read it yet, but I'm so excited to read it. And
yeah.
and I just we love murder mysteries and murder podcasts and things like that. So
Yeah, hopefully it's entertaining. It's available on Amazon now. It's
okay.
$20 on Amazon. And one of our local stores called the Isle of Books carries it.
Mm-hmm.
Our airport, the Montana Gift Corral in the airport carries it. Um, and I think that's it locally, but it's up at the Rhinestone Cowgirl in Big Sky. They
Mm-hmm.
carry it. It's carried in the park. I don't know exactly which stores yet, but anyway, it's just come out, and
And how many
it's
different authors have put their works in?
13.
Okay.
So there was a pool. It was kind of like a lottery. Like
Mm-hmm.
the publisher, who's a friend of my family. That's the only reason I got invited. She's reached out. And
There are more reasons.
She said, well, I hope so. But she reached out and she said, I'm inviting about 40 different writers. I'm only going to choose 10 to 15. And so we all submitted
Wow.
stories, and I whipped it out pretty quickly because I didn't think I had a chance. I just was like, what a fun thing to do, and it's an opportunity, and why not? And I worked in the park when I was in college in the summertime, and I've been going there my whole life, and I've had lots of experiences, and I'm like, it'll be easy for me to write a story.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just take
I'll
my
just
real
whip one
life,
out.
and well, I'll take my real life. The summer I spent in Mammoth Hot Springs, which is really the closest to here. I'll just take that summer when I was 19 years old working as a housekeeper, and I had all these adventures, and I'll figure out a way to add some murder and make it a mystery. So I did that, and it was really different from writing about food. Because it wasn't my opinion,
Yeah.
because the food writing is, I mean, my veiled opinion. I have to try to be objective because it's not, it's a small community comparatively. It's not like the New York Times where I can be like, rip the restaurant apart.
Right.
Even if I want to, I can't, they're not going to publish that basically if I'm
Right.
like, you read these things in big publications. So it's a different thing to like write a little piece about this restaurant or this farmer's market and mostly be complimentary than to just be like, I can make someone get killed in an hour. I could make um I could make the murderer be this person.
Mm-hmm.
I could make it be a bear because we're in Yellowstone. I could make it be all kinds. It's a totally different experience, and it was
So your
really.
imagination was running wild.
I had to use my imagination a lot more. Yeah.
Did you enjoy that portion?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But it scared me. At first when I realized that, when became conscious of, oh my God, I got to use my imagination. Then I was scared because I'm like, that's not what I do. Like, that's not my wheelhouse necessarily. Or is it? I don't know. I guess I'll try. And, I guess I did it, but I was nervous, and I took my husband I made him go on a road trip to Mammoth last year about this time to remind myself to do some research, to reorient myself with all the buildings, because I used the actual location,
Buildings that are there. Yep.
Yeah. And I just couldn't remember. It's been a long time since I worked there. I've been there since then, but I wanted to be really specific.
And it's a cool spot.
Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. Those buildings are really interesting. Those old, historic stone buildings. And
it makes it seem like a murder could happen somewhere around there.
I know. And that visitor center is like that. I don't know if you've been in there, but that's a big building with they have that Grand Hotel, but then across the street and through the elk, there's always so many elk just hanging out. There's this really old building that has administrative offices, but now they have a gift shop and a museum-y kind of display stuff, but that I had never been in. And because when I was young, I just didn't care, and that building is old and really cool and has a basement and I don't know. I hope the book is in there. I better check, but it probably is. But anyway, it's a really cool location.
I'm excited to read your take on it.
Yeah.
And where your imagination led you. So Deadly Yellowstone.
Deadly Yellowstone.
Okay, it's on my list.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Any other fiction works? You said maybe, feel like there was a teaser earlier on today, and I don't know, you may not be in a place where you want to share that, but
no, I can talk about it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm working on my own collection of short stories, so my own full book, because obviously what I just published is a small piece of a book of other people, which, by the way, it was an honor to be with.
Yeah.
Some of those writers are far more accomplished than me. I'm not going to name drop. You have to buy the book, but there's some really good, really, really amazing writers in that book. Yeah. But anyway, it gave me kind of the inspiration for my own collection. Not murder, though, not mysteries. Just I'm not sure yet of the theme, but I'm sure there will be some food going on. There might be some stories based around food, and but that's a big umbrella. But like our podcast, I might take a certain turn on some of my stories, but I'm working on that, and we'll see what becomes of it. It's a joy to do, even if I don't get anywhere with that published wise, But
I'm glad you're doing it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's almost as fun as this. This podcasting.
How could it be more fun than this?
No, it's not quite, though. This is the most fun, but
this has been really fun, and we're super happy to be able to do this. So
yes,
and we're super glad that you guys are listening to this episode of Purse Cheese.
I know. Thanks for hearing my stories, and next time we'll have more of Peggy's voice and less of mine.
I feel like there was a lot of mine in there too. So
well,
I'm excited for what we're going to do next, but let's not tease that.
Yes, we have plenty of things ahead. We just probably don't want you guys to know what they are until you have to tune in.
Yeah.
So
keep the mystery.
Yes. Well, thank you for taking an interest in my food writing and
thanks for sharing
all my other things I do in my spare time.
I love that on all the ways that we do things, we can find a way to maybe inspire other people that have the same talents that they haven't tapped into yet. And so, and even providing a pathway that sometimes you have to be bold, and sometimes you have to go outside of your comfort zone and ask for opportunities, and you never know when those opportunities are going to fall at your door.
Yeah, that's true. I hope that anyone listening that thinks like I was thinking, why bother trying? Don't think that. If it brings you joy, I just am grateful that I got a chance before my life was over, because I could have been doing it sooner. But but yeah, that's my message. Besides that food is awesome and writing is awesome and podcasting is awesome, is that you should listen to that, that voice, and don't doubt yourself.
Words of wisdom.
So, yeah. Thanks, Peggy.
Thanks, Katie.
Hey guys, it's Katie. I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of Peggy and me. We love recording these episodes of Purse Cheese, and we appreciate you being with us.